Yes, friends, let's move on towards our new topic of discussion of today. We are going to start the chapter matrices. Okay, so let us have a look at this particular slide. So, the introduction is matrices. A matrix, what does it mean by a matrix? A matrix is an arrangement of mn elements. Okay, so a matrix is an arrangement of mn elements in a rectangular array of m rows and n columns. So there are m rows. Okay, one first row, second row, third row, fourth row, like that. This is mth row. Okay, so rectangular array of m rows and n columns. So first column, second column, third column, fourth column, so on up to nth column. Okay, and it is denoted by amn or aij m cross n. Okay, capital amn or aij m cross n. These are the two ways to represent the matrix. So these are the symbols for matrix. Okay, where I denotes row number, I denotes row number, and J denotes column number. Okay, I denotes row number and J denotes column number. Okay, so this is the first column. So all in the subscript, okay, there will be one. So J represents actually column, okay, and I represents row. I represent row and J represents column. I represents row and J represents column. So you can have a look. This is the first row. So everywhere A11, A12, A13, A14 up to A1n. Okay. So why 1 over here? Why is there 1? This is 1. This is 1. Okay. This is 1. Why it is 1? Because this is first row. Because this is first row. Then this is 2. This is 2. This is 2. Okay. What? So why it is 2? Because this is second row. Similarly, there will be third row, fourth row. And why is this m? Because this is mth row. Okay, this is mth row. That's why m has been written over here. So it is a convention. It is a convention to write the row number first. It is a convention to write the row number first, and the column number later. Okay, so it is a convention to write the column number later and row number first. Now this is the first column. This is the first column. So everywhere over here A11. So this is 1. This is 1. Why? And this is 1. Why? All over here there will be 1 afterwards. Okay. So why is it like this? Because this is first column. Then this is second column. So 2, 2, 2 and 2 over here 2. Okay. So this is second column. Similarly there will be third column. So this is nth column. This is nth column. So nth column has n written afterwards. Okay. Now why is it mn elements? Why is it an arrangement of mn elements? So the reason is very simple, because there are m rows. From here till here there are m rows, and from here till here there are n columns. Okay. So it is looking like a rectangle. It is looking like a rectangle. So if you want to calculate the total number of elements, in this matrix, that how much is the total number of elements. So total number of elements will be m multiplied by n. Okay. Total number of elements will be m multiplied by n. That will be the total number of elements in this matrix. Okay. So that is the thing. So a matrix is an arrangement of mn elements in a rectangular array of m rows and n columns. Sometimes the rectangular array might also be square. Sometimes in a special case, see, it is a rectangular array in general. In general, it is a rectangular array. But in some specific cases, it might not be rectangular. It might be square array. When m is equal to n, when m will be equal to n, then it will be a square array. Instead of rectangle, it will be a square array when m is equal to n. But that is a special case. Okay. So this particular definition includes that particular square array of elements is also included in this definition, because square is a special case of rectangle. That's why. Okay. So this is the thing. Now row matrix. Now let us talk about row matrix. What does it mean? Okay. So row matrix. In a matrix, if there is only one row but different columns, then it is called row matrix. So in a matrix, if there is only one row, for example in this matrix there is only one row, but there are different columns. Okay, so you can have a look. There is only a single row, but columns 1, 2, 3 and 4 columns. Okay, only one row but 4 columns, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so in a matrix, if there is only one row but different number of columns, okay, but different number of columns, then then it is called as row matrix. Okay, so in a matrix, if there is only one row but different columns, then it is called a row matrix. For example, you can have a look over here. This is a row matrix clearly, because there is only one row but different columns, 1 2 3 4 columns, and only one row. Okay, similarly we have column matrix. In column matrix, there is only one row, one column but different rows. So column is only one vertical column and different rows, 1 2 3 4 rows, but only one column. So this is a column matrix. Okay, now what is a horizontal matrix? Let us understand what is a horizontal matrix. If the number of columns is greater than number of rows, then it is called horizontal matrix. So for example, over here in this particular matrix, there are two rows, but 1 2 3 4 columns. Okay, so 4 is greater than 2 clearly. Okay, 4 is greater than 2, 1 2 3 4 columns and 1 2 rows and 4 columns. Okay, so 4 is greater than 2, so the number of columns is greater than number of rows, then it is called horizontal matrix. And why it is being called horizontal matrix? Why is it being called horizontal matrix? That's because it looks like a horizontal rectangle. That's why it is being called as horizontal matrix. Okay, it looks like a horizontal rectangle, that's why it is being called as horizontal matrix. Now we have vertical matrix. If the number of rows is greater than the number of columns, then it is called vertical matrix. Let us have a look. So you can have a look over here, that the number of, just bring it to the down this. Okay, so number of rows is greater than number of columns, so you can have a look over here. 1 2 3 4 rows. Okay, 4 rows, but what is the number of columns? 1 2, only 2 columns are there, but number of rows are greater and number of columns are less. Okay, so why is it being called as vertical matrix? The question arises, why it is being called as vertical matrix? So it is being called as vertical matrix because it looks like a vertical rectangle. It looks as if it is a vertical rectangle. That's why it is being called as vertical matrix. So this is all about lecture number 1. Hopefully everything is clear to you. This was the very basic lecture of matrices. Hopefully you have enjoyed the lecture. Thank you very much.